guys, welcome back. Domain 5 Risk Management, Chapter 5.2 Summarize Business Impact Analysis Concept. So in this video we're going to see the listed topic here: business impact, mission essential functions, identifications of critical systems, single point of failure, RTO or PO, MTBF, MTTR, privacy impact assessment and privacy threshold assessment. So we will see the first topic here, business impact analysis. So the process of determining the potential impact resulting from the interruptions of time sensitive or critical business processes, IT contingency planning for both disaster recovery and operational continuity relies on conducting a BIA as part of the overall planning to ensure continued operations and the capability to recover from disaster. Unlike a risk assessment, the BIA focuses less on the relative likelihood of potential threats to an organization. Instead, it focuses on their relative impact on critical business functions from the loss of operational capability. Conducting a business impact analysis involves identifying critical business functions and service and technology required for each, along with determining the cost associated with the loss of each and the maximum acceptable outage period. For hardware-related outage, the assessment should also include the current age of existing solutions, along with standard for expected average time between failures based on vendor data or accepted industry standard planning strategy, or intended to minimize this cost by arranging recovery actions to restore critical functions in the most effective manner based on the cost, or legal or statutory mandates and calculation of the mean time to restore. Critical functions. A business impact is key components in ensuring continued operations. For the reason, it is a major part of business continuity plan (BCP) or continuity of operation plan (COOP). The focus is ensuring the continuity operations of key missions and business processes. US government organizations commonly use the term missions essentially function to refer to functions that need to be immediately functions at an alternate site until normal operations can be restored. Essential functions for any organization require resiliency. Organization also must identify the dependent system for both the function and the process that are critical to the missions or businesses. Okay, so you can see the steps here: the identification and analysis. So the identifications is a BCP must identify the critical systems and components. If a disaster is widespread or targeted on internet service provider or key routing hardware points, an organization continual planning should detail options for alternate network access. This should include dedicated administrative connections that might be required for recovery. Continuity planning should include consideration for recovery in case existing hardware and facilitate or rendered inaccessible or unrecoverable. Also consider the hardware configuration details, network requirements and utility agreement for alternate sites. Okay, so single point of failure. A single point of failure is a potential risk posed by a flaw in business continuity planning that allows one fault or malfunction to take down an entire system or enterprise. Single points of failure are avoided with redundancy and various fault tolerance protocol. For example, single points of failure can be removed by using server clustering technology, redundant switches and redundant network connections. Naturally, systems that support critical missions or business process should not be subject to a single point of failure. High availability describes the process process for ensuring system redundancy and proper failover. Maintaining such a system requires more resource and is more expensive. As a result, HA high availability is ideal for mission critical systems that cannot be unavailable anymore. So, recovery objective, RTO. RTO or PO. So, recovery point objective and recovery time objective are crucial in risk mitigation planning. RPO. So, RPO specifically refers to a data backup capabilities. RPO is the amount of time that can elapse during disruptions before the quantity of data loss during the period exceeds business continuity planning's maximum allowable threshold. Simply put, RPO specific that the allowable data losses. It determines up to what point in time data recovery can happen before business is disrupted. For example, if an organization does a backup at 10 p.m. every day and an incident happens at 7 p.m., the following day everything that changed since the last backup would be lost. The RPO in the context is the backup from the previous day. If the organization set the threshold at 24 hours, the RPO would be within threshold because it is less than 24 hours. The RTO is the amount of time within which a process must be restored after a disaster to meet business continuity requirements. The RTO is how long the organization can go without a specific application. It defines how much time is needed to recover after a notification of process disruption. There is an exam alert. You can easily remember this. Be certain that you understand the distinctions between RPO and RTO. RPO designates the amount of data that will be lost or will have to be re-entered because of network downtime. RTO designates the amount of actual time that can pass before the disruptions begins to seriously impede normal business operations. Okay. MTBF and MTTF. So, mean time to failure. What is MTTF? It is mean time to failure in the length of time a device or product is expected to last in operations. It represents how long a product can reasonably be expected to perform. Based on specific testings, MTTF metrics supplied by vendor about the product or components might not have been collected by running one unit continuously until failure. Instead, MTTF data is often collected by running many units for a specific number of hours and then is calculated as an average based on when the components fail. MTTF is one of many ways to evaluate the reliability of hardware or other technologies and is extremely important when evaluating mission critical systems hardware. Knowing the general reliability of hardware is vital, especially when it is part of large system. MTTF is used for non-repairable products. When MTTF is used as a measure, repair is not an option. Mean time between failures, MTBF, is the average amount of the time that passes between hardware component failure, excluding time spent repairing components or waiting for repairs. MTBF is intended to measure only the time a component is available and operating. MTBF is similar to MTTF. It is important to understand the difference. MTBF is used for products that can be repaired and returned to use. MTTF is used for non-repairable product. MTBF is calculated as a ratio of cumulative operating time to the number of failures for the item. MTBF ratings can be predicted based on the product experience or data supplied by the manufacturer. MTBF rating are measured in hours and are often used to determine the durability of hard drivers and printers. For example, typical hardware for personal computer have MTBF rating of about 500,000 hours. Okay. So mean time to recoverable restore repair, MTTR. So MTTR, when a system fails, one of the first questions asked is how long will it take to get things back up? It is better to know the answer to such a questions before disaster strikes. Fortunately, established mechanism can help you determine these answers and others. Understanding these components is a big part of the overall analysis of business impact. The mean time to recovery or mean time to repair is the MTTR. Okay, in short is MTTR, is the average time required to fix a failed components of device and return it to production status. So MTTR is corrective maintenance. The calculations includes preparation times, active maintenance times, and delay time. Because of the uncertainty of this factor, MTTR is often difficult to calculate. It is usually part of maintenance contract, with the user paying more for a system's MTTR. Some systems have redundancy built in so that when one subsystem fails, another takes its place and keep the whole system running to reduce the MTTR. Other risk calculations involve determinants like lifespan and failure rates of components. These calculations help on organizations measure the reliability of a product. So you can see MTTR total maintenance time divided by number of repairs. So this is one of the good example. So then privacy assessment. So privacy assessment is needed. PIA is needed for any organization that collects, uses, stores, or process personal information, what we call PIA. Okay. This includes, for example, the data of employees, partners, and customers. Specific types of sensitive data include personal identification information PII and personal health information PHI. Okay, we discussed this earlier in the chapter 33. So if you guys missed that video, so you can watch it. Okay, so data security and privacy practice are discussed both type further. So the PIA is an important first step to help identify such information assets. A privacy threshold assessment can determine whether your system contains such information. The assessment is required before analyzing impact and determining how to best protect the information. A privacy threshold assessment can be simple as distributing a questionnaire to systems and applications owner. The assessment might consist of an assortment of specific data field for the owner to select. Example could include names, social security numbers, gender, citizenship, place of birth, address, phone number, credit card number, driver license number, race, income, banking information, and so on. Okay. So you can see here what we discussed, what we said, the information, the PIA. So it's demonstrated an analysis of the impact of loss disclosure is needed. A common consequence might include regulatory fines. Consider through the other consequence might be worse. For example, imagine the consequence of unauthorized disclosure of personal information for operative working undercover for a federal agency. Okay. Exam preparations. In the context of business impact assessment, these terms represents how long a product can responsibly be expected to perform based on specific testing. Answer B. MTTF. Answer is MTTF. So that's it guys for this video. We will see more practice lab, more videos on later on video. Please subscribe my channel, press the bell button if you get if you like really. That's it guys, see you, bye bye.